What's up, lovely humans of the world? It is I, AudreyMayy, and I am back. Yes, that is right, I am back! Why did I jump? I don't know, I just wanted to jump. Hey, awkward energy with AudreyMayy. Hey, yo. I've been asked many times on how to begin streaming and tips to actually begin your streaming journey. So on that note, I will deliver. I will tell you the things you would like to know. This is according to me though. So I thought I'd give you guys tips on how to talk to yourself and how to talk when there's 0 viewers or not many people watching at all. So let's get into it. Boom. So I know it is pretty daunting when you're streaming to 0 viewers or not many viewers at all. So my first piece of advice would be to bring your friends and family in on your streams. So when you're streaming, get your friends, like message them, being like, hey, do you mind like logging into my stream and like just viewing, like even if they're just lurking. We'll get to lurkers a bit later. Even if they're just lurking with your stream muted, just having that viewer, like the number going from 0 to 1 or 2 or 3. Because if your stream has 0 viewers, people are less likely to click on your stream. But since you have 2 or 3 viewers, that means at least 2 or 3 people are interested in your stream. So someone who's just browsing on Twitch, if they see that you have 2 or 3 viewers, they'll be like, oh, this person is somewhat entertaining. Let's click on them and see how it is. So then they would click on you. And then that leads me on to the next tip, retaining their attention. Now you only have about 10 to 15 seconds to retain a viewer's attention. When someone clicks on your stream, that's all you have. That's all you have to entertain them, to get them to stay on your stream. I know for me personally, when I go browsing, if someone doesn't entertain me within like the first 10, 15 seconds, or if I'm not vibing with their energy or their personality, then I'm less likely to stick around. Or if they're not interacting with their community, then I'm also less likely to stick around. So that's all the time you have. You only have 10 to 15 seconds. And the best way is to retain their attention is to be entertaining. Evidently, to be entertaining, of course. But that is to commentate what you're doing, to not be in silence. Because like, no one wants silence, you know? If you click on a stream and no one's talking, it's just like some mediocre gameplay, then like, what's keeping you there? People are on Twitch and want to watch streams to be entertained, or to have background noise, or just have the company around. So what you gotta do and what you gotta practice is talking to yourself, to keep things going, to always have something to say on stream. You don't want dead silence. And the wind is back. It's gonna become a thing. We're gonna have a wind counter. Boom. Actually, no, because I'm probably gonna edit the wind out. So that's the next thing. You have to learn to talk to yourself. And the best way is to talk to yourself, especially when your chat isn't interacting with you or they're not asking questions, they don't want to talk, which is perfectly fine as well, is to commentate what you're doing. So I would suggest just commentating what you're doing, like where you're going, your thought process, like the things that you think when you're playing games, just think them out loud, just verbalize them. And then that way people will be like, oh, this person actually has some like idea of what they're doing, they're talking, they're like entertaining. But the things with that, you can only commentate so much, because there comes a certain point where commentating just becomes boring. It just becomes bland and dull and just dead, you know? For example, if you're grinding in game and you just keep leveling up for hours, like you're doing the same thing over and over again, then that gets so boring. You can't just commentate being like, yes, I'm killing this monster, yes, I'm doing this, yes, I'm doing that. Like that just gets so boring. So in that, I would suggest talking to your chat, asking them questions, getting them to interact with you. But also, you don't want to push them to interact with you. Don't force them out of just watching you, just listening to you. You don't want to do that, because some people, which is the majority of people on Twitch, love lurking. They love having you there in the background, just listening to your stream and vibing with your energy while they do chores, while they clean their room, while they're just playing another game, while they're doing homework. They just like to have your presence there for entertainment. So don't force them out of that. Offer them a safe space, being like, hey, if you want to chat with me, that'll be cool. I'd love to get to know you, but all good if not. I know that's something I always do, or I do subconsciously actually. So keep that in mind. But for the people who are chatting in your streams, interact with them. Be like, hey, what's everyone's favorite like coffee? I had coffee this morning. What do you guys like to drink? Or how was your day? Or just do small talk. If no one's asking you questions or no one's talking in chat, then just talk about your day. Talk about your life, just like what you do, what you've done on the weekend, story times, funny things that you talk about. Because people are there for your personality. Well, if you're a character streamer, then I suppose they're there for the character. But majority of the time, they're there for your personality and they're there to see you chat and they just want to vibe with you and your energy. So show that to them. Show that to them. I know, like, I always talk about my day, what I'm doing, what I've done. Sometimes it's more interesting than others. Usually it's just work in uni. Love that for me. But yeah, I would suggest just talking about that and then asking questions, being like, yeah, so I'm playing this game recently. What kind of games do you guys like to enjoy? What do you do? Like, where are you from? Stuff like that. Just ask them questions, get them interacting with you essentially. And another very important thing is to not let your viewer count affect how you act and how you talk and how you play. You don't want it to lower your self-esteem and your gameplay, your whole energy. Just don't pay attention to it, which is very much easier said than done. I know I try my best not to pay attention to it. But I find when I'm not looking at the viewer count and you're just like talking or you're just interacting or you're just being yourself and just talking about the game, then people will come in and like vibe with that energy and want to stay there and just be in your presence and just vibe with you. So that's very important. Try not to focus on the viewer count so much because honestly, it would just like ruin it. Just pretend you're streaming to 20 plus viewers all the time. Or I know people say thousands of viewers, but if there were thousands of viewers, that would be very overwhelming and a lot going on and the chat would be so hectic. Just imagine that there's like 10 or 20 people watching you and just keep them entertained. And then that way you won't have a thought that there's 0 people watching at all. And there won't be. So those are a few tips and tricks that I think will get you going and how to talk to yourself and how to talk to your chat and keep people entertained. Hopefully they will help. Let me know if you have any other tips and tricks. Also, I suppose the setup really does matter as well, like the basic setup. Ooh, maybe I'll do that for another video. We can go over the basic setup because honestly, to start streaming, you don't need a high quality setup. You don't need all this high techie fancy DSLR cameras, fancy as fuck microphones. You don't need any of that. You just need the commitment, you need the drive, you need the motivation and the entertainment value. And me entertaining, no. Okay, I need to do the ending. When people arrive and the wind is here, so loud. They're loud. I can't record in pace. I can never do that. Lexi's here. I want to give Lexi. Lexi! I have the doggo. Look, she loves me. Hello, Lexi. How are we going? This is my dog. She's adorable. Side note. But yeah, you're in the blueberries. You're in the blueberries. You want kisses? You want kisses? I love you. Love you, Lexi. Okay, bye. Oh, fuck. She almost yeeted out of here. So hopefully these tips and tricks have helped you guys begin your streaming journey. And I shall see you guys next time with AudreyMayy. Ciao, adios, I'm done.
Ciao, adios, I'm done.
Let go, bitches. Hey. Da da da. Hello. Hello. Human. Nyeh. Nyeh.